Original audio. Turn it up. Let's go. Latin Prince in the mix, that's fire. See what the wave takes it higher. I got food, got the jokes, stay locked. Original audio podcast, don't stop. Hey!
Ooh, ooh. It's at that time of the day, guys. It's Sunday. Still cold, but sunny. Thank God, everybody.
See, you done froze.
Is
All
my
right, make
camera
sure
frozen?
celebrating
Yeah.
birthdays today. And yes,
Mm-hmm.
oh my God, big party. What's going on? What's going to see? Oh, here we go. We're back.
She froze. She was in the
Man,
frozen
get
tundra.
it
You know she in
together,
snow,
man.
right?
What is
She's
the deal? Make
original
sure
audio
you plug in the
laptop.
your power, yeah, because last
No, it
time, you know what I'm
is.
saying, we'd be having these technical issues with C.
We gonna have to hit the side of the TV.
I see you. What is going on here?
Yeah. Oh, we hear you.
But we don't see you. You, she's over there. Are you still drinking your juice?
This is an advertisement for the Pop Energy drink.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I think she jumped off and she's gonna get back on. But anyways,
man.
How you feeling, brother? How you doing today, man?
I got no complaints, man. Got no complaints. Just ready to get some information out there.
You back in the hood? You back in the hood?
I'm back in SF, baby.
Man,
Back in SF.
How was your trip? How's the little one doing? Well, she's not little, but
she always gonna be little, man. I mean, she's 19, and it was good. We did a lot of talking, a lot of bonding. I'm saying I hadn't seen her in a while, so did a lot of talks. Had a lot of conversations about relationships, man. You know what I'm saying, and having the hard conversations with your partner when it comes to finances, when it comes to things that make you happy and things that make you unhappy. You know what I'm saying, and so. It was an awesome experience to go to the African American Museum, and it's a lot to take in at the African American Museum. It's something that I would encourage people to do before it closes, one, and give it ample time because you're going down a rabbit hole and a historical roller coaster of the transatlantic slave trade all the way to, to now and what's going on in the world.
I'm gonna tell you what, bro. When I went there, first there was two things that that blew my mind. It was the entertainment part with the Whitney Houston stuff. Like you go upstairs, they got the Cadillac, they got like so much historical stuff. When it comes to the music side of things, like it's amazing for you to go see. Of course, the casket that shook me to the core right there.
Yeah.
That really shook me,
I mean, I never made it to the music side. That's the wild part.
Oh wow!
I never made it. Yep. Because I'm a history buff. Like I was so enamored and immersed in what was on the first half of the museum that I never made it to the top because I was slowly soaking in, reading, and really trying to navigate my own emotions. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't something that I could just like breeze through.
Absolutely,
you know what I'm saying? Like you need some, like I told my daughter, you need some time to really be in that place.
It's crazy, bro, because I mean, like, there's so much information. So much information about the slavery stuff, and of course when I went to Boom, and you can't really take photos, but I saw. I mean, I saw movies. I read about it, and it's just like, it's just that's something that you might erase, and that's what they're trying to do, or and it's sad, but at the same time, it's good to that you have time to have.
I always say this though, right? And I know I'd catch a lot of flack for it, but if all of that don't happen, how we get here?
Yep, you're right.
Like if all of that doesn't happen, how do we get here? It's not to say that we don't. You know what I'm saying? but it's definitely a question that you always have to ask, because there's this attempt, like you say, to erase or rewrite history.
Mm-hmm.
But if the attempt is successful, right? Like if you could look at it from a film perspective, like this is a movie, if you can successfully rewrite or erase history, then we're not here. We don't do this. This isn't accomplished, what we're doing right now. And all the advances aren't necessarily, they don't look like this per se.
Crazy. I mean, like,
it's a lot.
It's just a lot, man. Like I say, I highly recommend for people to go see it, and what do you call it, and take the time to digest the whole situation, because it's a lot to,
It is. It is.
I mean, like I said, it's a big museum, so there's so much
big.
And I'm happy that it's there. I'm happy that we had a chance to experience it. To be able to have something like this to educate. We definitely need more of these.
We need more of them. Yeah, we need more of them, and we need to preserve them at all costs.
No matter what, at the end of the day, yeah, you're right. There's no need for anybody to hide. Well, what?
It's the truth. It's the truth of the world that we live in, man. Like, why erase it? Why hide it?
I'm trying to figure out what's going on with C. It's like her video and stuff like that's not working. I don't know what is the deal. I see her.
It popped up with an error message saying, "Oops, we ran into an issue." StreamYard did. I don't know.
StreamYard.
Click on the video part of it. Where you add your video or whatever, like video, is your camera on your computer?
Yeah, it is. I don't know.
Well, just can you put a picture in the background? You don't have to. Sometimes people just want to have a photo like an avatar, huh?
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyways, should we just continue to the news part of it? Let's as we continue to fix the issue. Anyways, well, yeah, just to finalize, finish, I would say that stuff about in regards to we definitely need to have these kind of museums open at all. So that's great.
Very odd.
Yeah. Is that you doing that, Steve? Clicking the thing in and out to see if it works?
Let me just.
What happened?
I said.
Okay. Do you want to try doing it on your phone and see if it works? Big shout out to everybody tuning in on IG. What up, everybody? We do this podcast every Sunday. 12 o'clock East Coast time, 9 a.m. West Coast, 11 a.m. Central time, y'all. So if you ever want to have a little bit of some juicy news, politics, music, and all kinds of stuff, we're not a political podcast, but we talk about the events that happen on a weekly basis and stuff like that. And then, of course,
juicy news.
And then on top of that, we have special guests. So this week's special guest is Graham Jones, a fantastic, phenomenal DJ out of New York City. He's worked with artists like Eminem and whatnot. So I'm gonna let him talk about it when he gets into the podcast today. But once again, this is a very informative podcast, and we love to share news. And of course, we're gonna share new music for the week. We have a new record by A$AP Rocky that dropped. We also have we're gonna be talking about J. Cole's new album dropping as well. So, mixtape. It's a Clue mixtape. Is it? Is that what you said?
It is a Clue mixtape. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
The rarity of hearing the word mixtape in the music.
It sure is.
Sector is crazy. Mixtape.
I haven't heard a mixtape in a minute.
Real.
It's been a year. It's been years, since I heard a mixtape. When was the last time you heard a mixtape? Shit. I think I go back to old mixtapes and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
But let's I just I cannot do my headlines without C. I gotta wait.
Yeah, that's the truth. Sorry, fans. We
sorry.
appreciate y'all tuning in, but we need our third part.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? We need our third part. We can't do it without her.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's how it is, man. we have a lot of people that have joined the live. So,
and we appreciate y'all.
I appreciate it. But you know what? Let's talk about music. If you want to chime into the music segment before we
So,
do tell.
Since we are original audio, let's talk about some original audio and some music. Okay, on the 27th, this man dropped a movement, mind you. Everybody know about Cold World, J. Cole. He dropped on his 41st birthday, the Birthday Blizzard. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
All hosted by DJ Clue. And like I say, for J. Cole, he never ever just, drops a song. On that, when he's dropping a song, it's gonna be on features for the most part. But if you're dropping a song by J. Cole, you can expect it to be a moment. And this mixtape is a moment because when they say lyricism is top tier at an all-time high in this mixtape, you can expect lyricism to be at as high as it gets, as dope as it gets, making you have to rewind to say, did you hear that? What he said? So yeah, that mixtape that J. Cole dropped, I'm saying Birthday Blizzard 26. If you haven't listened to it, you need to go listen to it because it's dope. And it's just a prequel, an anticipation of the fall off. So I mean, when it dropped, all I could do is just sit back and listen, and I'm still processing it, but it's definitely a dope mixtape.
The fall off came out in 2024?
No, it was announced per se. It hasn't.
No, I was just asking. I'm trying to figure out when he dropped his last album before this one. What year it was? It's been a minute.
I think it was with 10.
Was it? Nah, 20. Nah. Did he drop? Was it off season? 2021. I think it was off season.
I haven't heard a J. Cole album. Other than that, yeah. So because they said like the conversation, the talk of the fall off has been about 10 years. You know what I'm saying? So, and then in other music industry news, we got Kid Cudi announcing in 2026 that the Rebel Ragers tour, it has 33 dates for North America. All right. Now, I'm not necessarily a consumer of Kid Cudi, but this is definitely an exciting time for people who really like Kid Cudi because he's made an impact in the industry and people really do love and consume his music. So Kid Cudi's got a tour that's coming, 33 cities, and so he's got fan loyalty.
Kid Cudi situation has been crazy. There was a big old
fight. Kid Cudi situation?
When him and Jim Jones arguing about, that he made.
Okay, I just needed clarity on which Kid Cudi situation because we could go back to I'm just saying. We could go back to a number of Kid Cudi situations, but yeah, I mean, Cudi went on live to literally address the statement that Jim Jones made that he's the one who basically broke Kid Cudi. But per my homie Rob Markman, Rob Markman came on his podcast to address that by giving a timeline. And the timeline was a simple one, that Cudi was already making noise. He had a solid fan following, prior to Jimmy even, getting on that
remix. But I don't think he made it sound like the
remix
was the, made him discover him or whatever. Like I was already listening to Cudi, before.
Right. Lots of people were already listening to Kid Cudi before this remix. Now, did it make an impact? Yes, that's without a doubt. It's kind of like when Juvenile's High came out. a lot of people already knew Juvenile's song, but to hear that Jay-Z jumped on the record, you're like, what?
Yes,
right? It took it to another level, but Jay-Z couldn't come on and say, "Oh, I put Juvenile on the map." People would have been like, "Nah, that's false. That's incorrect." So shout out to Kid Cudi for standing on his own 10 toes and saying like, "Nah, that's not the case." And shout out to Rob Markman for having receipts to help you go through the timeline of what it is and what it was. So yeah, man, like that controversy was deaded quickly. But now he's got a 33 tour date, 33 city tour date, going through North America. So everybody that's ready to consume some Kid Cudi, get ready, because the tickets don't just sell, they testify.
My boy's talking
Kid Cudi's gonna go ahead.
No, I got somebody on the chat talking about if we're going to talk about the Kid Cudi Rake track. You know what? We're going to look for it and see if we were just talking about a quick announcement on Kid Cudi and what's happening in the news as far as him going on tour. But
33 city tour date.
But if
get to work, get out.
Yes. He's I think with all the stuff that's happening right now with Kid Cudi as far as like the Diddy thing and et cetera,
that's enough
situations
those are just all those things just always seem to be little setups, little alley-oops, right?
Yes, sir.
Like those are things that make it easy for you to say, oh wait, Diddy, oh Jimmy, oh tour, it's just little stepping stones, little alley-oops, Yeah, like it's great. It's great marketing when you use it in your favor,
Anything like I said, is how can we say is any media or bad media? I said does it benefit you?
Yeah.
See,
all press is. Some press is better than no press.
Yes, sir.
Bad press is better than no press.
I'll take any press. Well, see, are you there?
Okay. So I'm finna get me some press. I'm gonna get me some press, y'all. All right. And I'm gonna be on the Golden Gate Bridge in a couple days. All
there
right?
we go.
Finally.
Finally.
Hello. Welcome.
Hello.
We were lost without you.
We were lost.
We were lost without you.
We're trying to,
I'm so sorry, guys. I don't know what was going on. StreamYard just kept giving me errors. Something went wrong is what it told me.
This was an example of
Robin Thicke?
My God. No, not Robin Thicke. Not Robin Thicke. But my God, I keep wanting to say Jim Jones. It's not him.
We're
this
just
is a man's world.
Oh, James Brown? James Brown.
Yeah.
There you go.
This is a man's world. But it wouldn't be nothing. It wouldn't be nothing without a woman. And we were nothing without you. So welcome back.
Right. No, I'm fine. Thank you.
No, real quick, big shout out to everybody who's tuning in on my live original audio podcast live as well. We have a lot of people on Facebook, YouTube tuning in. It's going down. You know what I'm saying? But
yes.
Now that we have we were just talking about music news a little bit. We didn't get into too much information, but let's go into
the headlines.
Let's go into this week's headlines. You know what I'm saying?
All right, let's do it. Anti-ICE protests and arrests have been happening in downtown LA. Hundreds gathered to anti-ICE demonstrations. The last video I saw this morning, one of the agents shot into a crowd. A pregnant woman was injured. There's a lot going on in LA. So there's a video circulating of the mayor of LA calling in some.
Was it LA or Long Beach?
Long Beach, maybe.
Yeah, Long Beach. It's a Long. Yeah, I was gonna say it's a Long Beach.
Should we stand in front of Long Beach?
Long Beach. Sorry, you're right.
Let people know what he was proposing to do.
Yeah, let's roll that.
Let's rotate.
Roll the clip.
A California mayor is literally calling for gangs to fight ICE. You can't make this stuff up.
My name is Rogelio Martinez. I am calling all 55 gangs in my beautiful city. I expect a gang leader from every gang, all 55 gangs, and I'm not going to name them by name. I'm calling the Latino gangs. I'm calling the Cambodian gangs. I'm calling the Filipino gangs. I'm calling the black gangs. I'm calling the Pacific Islander gangs. I'm calling all gang leaders to meet me right here, Long Beach City Hall, this coming Monday. Why Monday? Specifically, I need you to be here to meet me in person to take back this city.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's real. That is real.
What's interesting, though, is the history on gangs, right? Because a lot of them started to protect communities. So this is bringing this full circle to that. I mean, not saying gangs have not ventured away from that mission for a while now, but a lot of them did begin to protect communities.
That is true. I mean, like, the only gang that he didn't mention was the DJ gang. But anyway, that's the
DJ gang? Squad?
He went down to the Cambodians, the Filipinos, Mahalpita. You know what I'm saying?
He said everybody. It almost reminds me of Captain Planet. And I'm saying everybody putting up their ring. Wind, water, heart. When your powers combined.
Listen, tomorrow, meet my man at City Hall, Long Beach. You already know. He's looking for you.
Yeah.
And we just spreading the word.
Right here. Right here.
We're the original audio gang. Cool.
I mean.
Right over there, bro. Nah, I mean. That's absolutely.
Stuff is getting real interesting in Cali, is all I'm saying. So we'll see how that unfolds. Moving right along, Royal Rumble 2026 is hitting the global stage. WWE Royal Rumble 2026. It took place on January 31st in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. It's the first time that was hosted outside of outside of North America. So super interesting how all of these companies and brands are globalizing. NFL, everybody's like, there's a market way bigger than here. There's money to be made elsewhere. So, do y'all watch WWE? Were y'all ever WWE fans?
You know what?
Yes, no?
Watched it though. I was forced.
Yeah.
You were forced? Wait a minute. By who?
I was forced. My dad. What?
Oh,
I used to watch it back in the days, and now actually, let me. Sorry for interrupting you guys, but now because of this new show on Netflix called Unreal, and it dives into the lives and the day-to-day stuff that's happening in the wrestling world. It has me, because I'm like, I'm so used to like watching like Hulk Hogan and watching like The Undertaker, just the
Undertaker.
The OG wrestlers like like Andre the Giant and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So now there's a whole new generation of kids, of wrestlers who are like just killing it. Like
I still love The Rock. The Rock's still my favorite.
Cena, you know what I'm saying? The Truth. That brother is funny. I don't know if you know who The Truth is. This guy, he is hilarious, and he's been in the game, for a minute when it comes to
look. If they don't have the cocaine era characters for WWE, then I ain't gonna watch it, because when you had Jesse the Body Ventura, oh yeah, brother,
yeah, brother.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I have
Yokozuna. Was that?
Or Yokozuna, or the Ultimate Warrior, or Jake the Snake, man. What? Iron Sheik race? What? Yo. We need those characters. I told you I was forced. So I know them all. Right?
Let me ask you a question. Do you remember the female manager for what's his name? Oh my God.
The Macho Man Randy Savage, Elizabeth.
I had a crush on her. She was so cute. But anyway, that's a whole different story.
Because she was his supplier. Oh yeah, that cocaine is good. Yeah.
Let me clean up my nose.
Before we get out. And the wild part is Jesse the Body Ventura ended up going into politics. It's crazy.
And he's the governor of Minnesota.
Well, what's wild is though, people were really gunning for The Rock to run for president.
Right.
that both parties had meetings with him. I remember him posting about it last year before. He met with both parties. They were like, "You poll really, really well. People like you."
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I would love.
Oh, don't make that face because you're acting like it's better. I mean, it's
no. There's a thin line of
between love and hate.
There's a thin line between having someone take on real world situations and people making real world situations entertainment. You know what I'm saying? And we're talking about world leaders, right?
I'm gonna go back
I don't want you to walk into a meeting about something that's real serious and the other world leader can't get past the fact that you're a superstar character.
Okay, I mean, but that might bode well in our favor. You saw how Kim Jong did with what is it?
Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, he loved him.
But let's talk about, our president, Reagan. I mean, he was a movie star.
He wasn't no movie star. Reagan was not no movie star.
He was an actor. Don't downplay it. No star. Don't downplay it, bro. He was a star, no matter what.
So what I will say though, is I'm gonna go back to the point I made a few episodes ago. I look at heart and struggle. Have you struggled in your life? Do you have that context for caring for people? Yeah. What I do know of The Rock is he does a lot of philanthropy. He does a lot of things to help people that are not necessarily always televised or recorded or any of that stuff. So taking it upon yourself to do that when you don't have to, when there's not a monetary financial gain to do so, I think that's a mark of good character. And it is a hell of a lot. I'm going to be very careful when I say this. It's a departure from where we currently are. So, that said,
look at cool. Anyways,
nobody's questioning his character. I'll give you it this way. We'll make it real simple. Most people,
he's smart.
Most world leaders go into it knowing that when people's lives are on the line, they are pawns and some must go for the greater good. Okay? And you are also willing to take the lives of others for the benefit of your country. We're talking about souls, right? And so I'm not questioning his altruism or his philanthropy. I'm saying when those requirements are in your face, you have to be able to say, this is just numbers. These aren't souls. And most people don't have that ability.
So you're saying he's too good of a person to be president?
I'm simply saying that you gotta be willing to play the game. And if you ain't willing to play the game, there's no reason for you to get in that arena.
Being what he does, like actor, wrestling, whatever, and becoming a politician are two different, situations. And he, at the end of the day, there's going to be struggles, and he's going to be put against the wall, and he's going to have to make decisions for, like I said, it's a whole different level of the game.
The responsibilities are just way different.
Yeah,
but they are. But again, I'd rather have somebody that is moving with other people's well-being in mind and at heart versus their own. And that's
most world leaders aren't. Okay, moving
right along.
We'll get. Well, you know what? I'm gonna get The Rock on the show, and we'll ask.
Let's do it.
You know what I'm saying?
Ooh,
and then I'll have a debate between you fool and him, and you guys could just go.
I'm not going to debate with Dwayne. Are you crazy?
No, just
Dwayne, whatever you say. Of course.
See, that's another thing. Ain't nobody gonna.
I'm just a comedian on the show. That's all.
He's going to show up to the meeting and be like, "Whatever you want."
I got my boy sitting in the green room right now. But let's just wrap up the news and a little bit of
the news.
Then we're gonna come on and get my boy Scram in the mix.
Yes. All right, so last headline, music industry gala, Clive Davis pre-Grammy celebration. Clive Davis pre-Grammy gala brought together legendary and contemporary stars, honoring icons like Brandy, Pharrell, Art Garfunkel, and celebrating music legacy before Grammy Week festivities. So that is something that I think is just ingrained in the industry, being able to highlight and spotlight some of the artists that have made moves in the past. You know.
I gotta tell you, I've been to his party for the Grammys, and it's amazing.
Oh, and you didn't bring me?
Baby oil?
You were in the middle of having children, but it's all good. We'll have the discussion later.
So hey, there was baby oil.
A baby with me on my hip. It would have been all right. I'd have fashion accessory. You know what I mean?
They would put oil on them.
That environment is not for babies, but it's all good.
Or oil.
I'll make sure that
you are obsessed with oil right now.
I will speak to certain, power players that they might be able to get us in the building for the next one.
Let's
so we
do
just
it.
have to fly ourselves to LA, and just have a big old ball.
Trey One says that Arnold Schwarzenegger said he struggled as a politician. Just an FYI. Thank you, Trey One.
Yes. Yeah, that is true. He did. I mean, I think it was overwhelming for him, like I said, but
he never got to say, "Get in the chopper."
Yeah, that is true. Anyways, yes. Continuously before we were interrupted by
before the no parachute moment. That's all I got for headline news. I think you guys already covered the entertainment, right? We talked J. Cole already.
J. Cole.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
I think.
So yeah, you know what? I'm gonna showcase this week's music real quick.
Don't forget Mr. Michael Watts.
Oh, of course. I wanted to send out a big, I was going to combine the music with the Michael Watts situation as well. But, we want to extend. Well, you know what? We didn't play a couple of the clips, but anyways, we'll get back to that. Our boy, DJ Michael 5000, Watts passed away. And we just want to send a big, shout out to the family, in Houston. Because of his passing, it was tragic, and I just wanted to show a little bit of something, just because I don't know if a lot of people know or don't know Michael Watts, but here we go.
That fueled my workout yesterday.
And we lost your LP.
You lost your audio.
There you go.
Am I back?
You're back.
You're back.
Okay, cool. All right. I just wanted to send a shout out to the family and his children. And we are looking forward to seeing them soon. So once again, I was going to say, so we'll play those clips, those news clips for next week. So I would like to bring in my boy, Scram Jones. He's sitting in the back of the studio. Where you at, big dogs?
I figured, come to the music room, not have a dusty couch or kitchen,
That's what's up, baby boy. How's the weather out there in NYC today, brother?
It's freezing, you know that.
It's brick.
Same here in DC.
Yeah. It's Arctic. It's Arctic. Actually, I haven't walked out today, but last night was freezing. It's still snow. Where are you guys? Where is everybody?
See, it's in DC. Fool is in San Francisco, and I'm in Dallas right now.
Okay. So, yeah, New York.
Yes, sir.
In New York, but just to inform everybody that we have royalty in the building. Scram has been in the game. How long have you been in the game now, Scram? How long have you been doing this beautiful thing?
Oh man, I'm gonna sound real old, but
let's we mature.
I dropped my first record was in '99, so 2000, so over 25.
Yes, sir. Same here. Not to ages. We're still looking young though. And just talk a little bit about your career. You started. Where did it all start?
Where did it all start? Career-wise, obviously, it started from me collecting music and just being around hip-hop and collecting music, whether it was cassettes, CDs, all that. Becoming a DJ in high school. A lot of hip-hop around me. New Rochelle, where I grew up, is really only 10 minutes from the Bronx. So it's like we would have so much hip-hop and the culture was so much around me. So I started DJing in high school. And then after high school was when I started producing and started releasing music, years later. So it started as a DJ. I was always writing. I always wanted to rap, so I was always writing in class. Doodling, writing raps in class. And my name's Scram. I used to tag it on the walls before I became a DJ. It was actually my name backwards. My name was Mark with an S, the last name. So I used to write my name backwards, Scram, all over my papers. And then, became DJ Scram when I was 15. And yeah, like later on, I went to school. I went to college for audio production. Got my first MP, and then when I came back from school, I started releasing music and doing production, and kind of combining the DJ and the production and raps here and there.
Let's talk about some of the production that you have worked in the past, and some of the I don't like I was saying.
You want me to tell you? My first production. So the first time I was even saw my name on a record, I actually did a remix for Pharcyde, which is pretty random, but it came out on vinyl and Black Thought was on it. It was 90. It was 2000, and I had a friend that worked for the label that he needed a remix for a Pharcyde record featuring Black Thought, but they needed it the next day, so they gave me the acapella. I remember I didn't even have my equipment set up. I went to my friends, I did something, and the next day they accepted it. They gave me like $5,000 for it, and I was just 20 years old, and I was like, shit, I should really take productions more serious instead of trying to be a rapper and DJ.
Right.
And then, the first time I really on the New York tip was actually Tragedy Gaddafi. I met Tragedy at a party, and the next day he took me to Habit's house. I remember in Long Island, and played him beats and stuff, and he had me do his whole Still Recording album. I kind of A&R'd it, but I did 4 or 5 records on it. Prodigy Habit jumped on it, and that was my first being on an album. That was 2003 maybe, 2. And then in regards to actually getting on the radio was with Jay Mills with the No record. And that was 2003. And then right after that was Yeah with Terror Squad with Fat Joe Remy. So it was No and Yeah. My first 2 records that were happening when Yeah.
That's what's up.
He was responding back to his records.
Yeah, the irony was too much, but I was happy they both were on Hot 97 Alive. People remixed it the No. Cam jumped on the T.I. and then the Yeah. Jada did his 40 bars of terror on it, and a lot of people freestyle to it, and that was right before Lean Back, so that was the warm-up record for Lean Back on that album. And I always say I had the first Bonnie and Clyde record with Remy and Joe before they made it a thing, So and that's it, and then since then, just been dipping out of projects, just making beats, being part of projects, DJing, and here I am 20 whatever years later.
How long have you been?
It's a good life.
When I was when I was living in New York, and I spent some time with Scram, I Sirius XM. I would just if you have not heard his show on Shade 45, his shit is serious. I love the way this motherfucker mixes, bro. He's just so talented, and I just actually him and I, we got to remember we DJ at a club. It was you, me, and Enough. A long time.
You mean who was it? And Enough?
It was us. It was you and I and Enough. We did a club in the city. Yeah, this was a while back. It's so funny because when I was, when I was thinking about how, I was putting everything together about having you on the show, I was I ran into the fire. I was oh shit! And I remember that day because we were having so many technical difficulties on the booth.
Oh,
it was
shit,
man. It was fucking Serato shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
Like,
right.
just how long have you how long have you been with Shay now?
Wow, I've been definitely over 10 years. I started with Lord Sear. Like, he started making me his guest. I was cool with him, and he said, "Come DJ Friday night on my show," and then it became a thing. And I did it for maybe 2 years or something with his show, and then Paul gave me my own show Saturdays, and that's been about 8 years, 9 years.
By the way, I know who Paul is. He's
Paul
Paul Rosenberg, the big
Rosenberg.
That's the boss man. Yeah.
His name Shane. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, did you get those shoes? By the way, you got those shoes, did you?
I got them, but I sold them, man. I don't know if I should have said it on the camera, man.
Listen,
I don't even want us to sell them, but it's like I'm a collector, but not a collector like that. For them to just sit in my closet.
I'm not even mad at you, Pimp, because
you know over 5 figures for it. I'm like, those 5 figures, I'll take over. Just
Eminem gave away some, to his closest friends, some Jordans.
Yeah, the Jordans, like they were just limited, and at a Christmas party, he gave them all out, and then I didn't even know. I was putting them on my shoes the next day, and my neighbor came over, and he's like, "What are you doing, bro? Take them off now, bro. Like, put them back in the box. You know how much these are worth?" I was like, "I have no idea." He's like, "Look, they're going for at least like at one time they were going for 30 grand on the Flash, whatever.
Fight Club. I seen them for mad money.
Then it went down to like 10, 12, but I did hold on to them, and then it just got to a point where somebody offered me some money, and I was like, son, if I can't wear them, like if you're telling me I can't wear them, they're just gonna be in my closet. Like I can do a lot more with money.
Right.
And, it is what it is, man.
When it was 30 grand, I would have sold them.
No, that's what I tried, and I put them on all those sites, and then there was just a lot of undercutting going on. So it was somebody, I see it for 20 online. Well, they got it for 15, and I was like, oh shit, it's going down.
Right.
And then it was like 12. It was out like 12. And I was like, man. He's like, dude, was like, not 12,000 cash right now. I'm like, fuck.
Right now.
I was like, yo.
For some shoes? Okay.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I'll take that.
And you never gonna wear them? Oh, give me that 12. Oh,
yeah, I'm getting yelled at for wearing them. I'm like, what's the point of keeping it? I want some Instagram props, take a picture once a year. Like, I still got these.
Right.
that's a lot of equipment right there, buddy.
Right.
That's how I was
thinking. Man.
That's a lot of gym clothes right there, too.
Crazy.
So check it. You lived through vinyl, mixtape, CD, streaming, and now AI is the big thing. What do you think hip hop has gained, and what do you think it's lost?
Wow. Well, I mean, it's gained. Obviously, everyone could be. There's no gatekeeping or buffering or like it seems like anyone could be a part of it, but not everybody is from it. So it's kind of, it's kind of saturated, and there's a lot of, I don't want to sound like the old guy, a bitter guy, but like there's fakeness. Like there's people that don't really honor the culture in a sense, but you can't get mad at the new generation that didn't live through it because they just they just weren't there, even though they should do their homework. Like as a DJ, I always did my homework on old school music that I wasn't even I wasn't even alive for. I'll tell you about 70s and 70s and early 80s music that I might have not like so-called lived through it, but in regards to gaining, I mean, technology-wise, it has been helpful to get a lot of talent out. Like I said, it's been a gift and a curse because there's no buffering, and also technology has helped with production, getting, back in the days, you'd have to rent a studio, you'd have to, or get thousands of dollars worth of equipment, and that goes for DJ too. Like, buying vinyls, I was telling my son, I got a teenage son, and it's like he's streaming all day, on his headphones, and I'm like, when we wanted one single, it would literally cost us $12 because we would want, as a DJ, we'd want 2 records of the same record to cut it up. So there was a $5 each plus tax. Plus you got to go to the record store, and that's like in the city, you know what I mean? So that's actually more money, you know what I mean? So we'd like spend a day getting a single, and it'd be whatever, $15 for the one Black Moon record or Wu-Tang, whatever we were getting. So I would spend all my money on records. So, when Serato came out, I had like a love-hate relationship. I was like, this is some bullshit.
Real did.
I remember that whole debate.
Yeah, like I spent all my money on records my whole childhood, and then suddenly I don't need these records anymore, and everyone's just downloading. But that being said, you actually, when it was tangible, like you guys could all attest, like we had like a mixtape or an album, like you would listen to it like for months. You know what I mean? Like it was no, at least for the cassette, like this, we just let it play. Like now, these kids' attention span is like they listen to a song for 5 seconds, and it's like, you know what I mean? They don't even sit through it. On to the next. It's very disposable. So that's a long-winded answer, but I'm just saying, like, there's pros and cons, I would say.
Yeah.
That's the right answer. That's not long-winded. That's the right answer.
Big shout outs to Rock and Soul in New York City for that vinyl that's still there, baby.
I would live in Rock and Soul with Ruben. Shout out to Ruben and all them. Like, and it's like you'd have the bootlegs, and you'd have, you know what I mean? I know you remember, like, you'd have a list of records that weren't on the front shelf. They were in the back shelf. They were the mixtape records that maybe Stretch and Bob was playing the night before on college radio, and you're like, yo, you got that new Mobb Deep with it? It's on, I'll give you the record, but hold on, I'm not giving it to those guys there, so just wait right here, Scram. And like you sign a piece of paper, and like it was, I would live there every week. I would spend all my money, Rock and Soul, Fat Beats, Music Factory.
Let me ask you, were you a part of a record pool at that time?
Not formally, nah. I mean, I would get certain records. I never paid for
you would just get stuff from the labels directly.
I would get from the labels, like, randomly.
Nah, that was because when I was coming up as a DJ, living in San Francisco, I used to be a part of a record pool, and I would get all this stuff. And then I also would. There was a really big DJ out of KMEL in San Francisco who used to work for Tower Records, and he would have us come see him, and he'll put stuff on the side so that he'll pick stuff. He'll have it ready for us, like a little stash of 12 inches. And sometimes, because we'll talk about just, you're talking about 12 inches and stuff like that you had to have doubles, but there was also imports. And those records were even more money than the ones that, So he would just put a little, say, these are the high records, that you need to have. And that was another source. Like you said, we're spending, I think I was spending at least $500,
Yeah. And it's like you have to travel with speakers and amplifier. If you do a private events with a coffin, if not, when you're doing clubs, you got 4 or 5 crates of records. You're crawling up ladders and all these, you know what I mean? At the end of the night, like I always tell a story how all your friends want to hold the crates walking in to get in, but at the end of the night, they're all gone, So like, at the end of the night, everything's out the sleeve. You're like, you're drunk, you bounce and fall,
There's 10 crates, you're sitting on 10 crates and like, what's everybody at?
Your friends are gone, and you're like, damn, everything's out the sleeve. That was the real grind back then,
What I just heard from both of y'all is struggle for the art. And I think that's probably something that's missing now. It's like that appreciation for working so hard for something to perfect it. And, now it's just it's a lot easier. So I think it takes some of that appreciation away.
No, you're right. Go ahead.
I would argue that these two DJs do appreciate the not having to carry crates anymore, because I'm listening to you guys talk, and I hear the word records, right? And I've seen DJs, and I participated with helping DJs carry the crates in and out during an event.
You're one of those boys.
Yeah, without a doubt. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't disappear, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm a background person by nature. You know what I'm saying? So, but the thing that I'm listening to in this conversation, the word records, right? And I'm looking at the question that I want to ask, right? Which is, who breaks music? Now, before you answer the question, right? I go back to the word records, right? Like, man, DJ used to break records. They were record breakers. They don't break records no more, right? And I'm not saying DJs don't break records. I'm saying records aren't being broken. Music is being broken, right? You know what I'm saying? So the question is, who breaks music now?
TikTok.
You know what? You're
not wrong.
You're not wrong, brother. You're not wrong. It's crazy, like,
that's one, obviously. That's you know, but that's a huge one. You know what I mean? That's just, we could just say social media, you know, it's just like we're so consumed in social media and content, and it's like, you know, I'm not saying another record can't, you know, you hear it in the club, this, that, but it's more about did you get it on the gram? Did you see the, you know what I mean? Like, or TikTok, it goes viral because everyone wants to use, you know, these kids want to use the clip to do their, you know what I mean, to do their visuals or whatever.
Right.
It goes viral. A million people are using the same background song to do their makeup or do their dance or whatever it is. That's just, you know, that's for the young music. I mean, obviously, other music can get broken from. I would just say content though in general. Like you really, it sounds like, you know what I mean. You gotta have so much layers of content and be drilling these songs in people's heads on the sites and getting it all over. So, you know, I would say social media more than anything is really what I'm saying. I would say.
Yeah. The minute when I was doing radio, the minute we got playlisted, that became a problem for the DJs because now
Rap Caviar and shit like that too. I mean, obviously, like
we like at the station, we used to play whatever. You know, we were like as a conglomerate, you know, with the mixer team, we'll be like, oh, we're gonna this week, like, you know, like I said, I was at KML in San Francisco for a long time. We broke big. In San Francisco, we were breaking some, you know, records from New York and from the South. You know, like there was just a lot of stuff that were. But then it became a point where like everything. Then they started to tell us what to play. You know, program.
I mean, yeah, that's what happened when I did a few guest slots on them, Hot 97 and Power 105, and I was so excited to be on it. And I'm not, it's not this to the station.
No, you keep it 1,000.
So you already know, like when they threw me on, they're like, all right, these are the lists. You gotta play all the A's, all the A's, all the B's, and then you could choose from the C's and D's. And it's like it's the same generic music everyone's been hearing every hour. So it's like I'm gonna play the same Rihanna record, the same J. Cole record, the same whatever that you guys. And it didn't really give me an identity. I'm like trying to think of creative. Okay, I gotta remix every song right now that they just gave me. You know what I mean? I gotta switch the beat. I gotta think of wordplay. I gotta think of something creative because, you know. But ultimately, yes, when it comes to what is it, terrestrial radio, whatever, you know, you can. It's programmed. It's business. Besides those couple, you know, mix shows, you know, someone has enough had an hour or Flex has an hour, and they could throw a couple records in there. But that's why I like Shade 4-5. Shady can do what you want. But the irony with Shade is that when I play new stuff, I don't get a lot of engagement. But when I start playing all the old stuff with the samples and I start doing my little nerdy mixing shit, people go crazy. So I feel like it's a demographic that wants to hear shit that's, you know what I mean? That's not out the radio or more creative.
Yeah, so, I feel like people go to Spotify, like you said, back to social media, and that's what people. That's where the new the kids are discovering records and stuff like that. You know, it's a generation change, I would say, of how people listen to music these days.
I mean, it's very disposable and very and that's why songs are like a minute and a half now. You don't even have the attention span to listen to more than like a minute and a half, 2 minutes. But then it works for streaming because then you get the rewind factor. So now people are listening to it twice instead of once because it's so short. So there's a science with that. And then DJs complain it's not much of a commitment to DJ for, you know what I mean? A minute 45-second record is not killing my set to throw it in.
No doubt. And I noticed that when you do some of these video clips, I just saw a clip from Scratch Bastard. He was just freaking the shit out of Guns N' Roses. And, you know, I said, and he got a million fucking views from that little clip. And like I said, you know, you were freaking on some old stuff as well. Like, you know, like you said, it's just the creative part of it. You know, people just really appreciate, you know, like, you're not, you know, you appreciate that classic.
That's why I love, like you say, about like the like, you know, like we're not missing the records. Like, you know, it's true that technology and Serato and everything, like you're able to like really get creative to another level with DJing now with technology. And I embrace it like crazy. Like I love it because I'm doing stuff that I wish I could have done just on record, you know, in regards to turning any song into an acapella or instrumental or linking them up in sync or looping this or jumping to quick cue points. And it's just like you could do live production. That's what I look at it. It's like
do Do you use stems on Serato?
Hell yeah, I use everything.
That's my shit right there.
I use everything, and that's why it's like now there's like a vinyl craze. Everybody's like, "Spam, come through my vinyl party," and I'm like, "Bro, that's gonna be boring." I mean, not boring. I'm not dissing the true schoolers because I'm from that cloth, but it's like I can't do none of my tricks. They're like, I'm just gonna be. But I get it. You play the record. I mean, not to say you don't cut a vinyl, but
it's like, it's different. You know, like what you do with the technology. You know, you are utilizing it to the fucking fullest. You know what I'm saying? What you could do with vinyl is limited to what you could do with, you know.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna do vinyl, what I always say is because there's a lot of like, I call them snobs, but in a good way because I'm friends with a lot of DJ snobs. But the ones that got like the deep crates that, you know, there's certain like, where it's like you go there and they have like they're playing the most obscure break beats and shit from all over the world. But that's fire for vinyl sets because now you're playing shit that we don't even know, but it's funky. You know what I mean? But if you just gonna play like Bad Boy records or play this, and it's just like I'm playing vinyl. It's like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I feel like I'd rather do it with the laptop, but I do like the culture coming back and it becoming trendy again. You know?
Yes,
I think it's dope to be able to do both and to have that background, right? Like if you show up somewhere and all they got is vinyl, you can still freak it and make it work. Whereas some people will show up and be like,
Yeah.
I don't know what to do here. I can't do anything with this. So yeah.
Do you still have your? I mean, have you sold any of your vinyl collection?
I mean, I had a horrible thing with my vinyl collection. Is that when I moved into my house, 2005, 2006, I didn't know where I had so many. I had like 40, 50 crates of records, and I didn't know where to put them. I didn't want to just throw them in a new house, so I put them in my garage, not really thinking about the long play, and I literally left them in the garage for a few years. And when it was time to finally shelf them up and bring them in, they all were like half of them were destroyed. They either melted where they were sticking to the paper, or they were like mildew. I have a video of like the most horrible nightmare of a DJ where I'm like everything stuck and melted, and I'm like, so, and that's another reason why I'm not like I threw away half my collection, and the other half I shelved up and everything, but I'm still like, if I was to do a vinyl set, I need to play every record before I go there to make sure it's not like skipping or messed up, because so that was messed up. But I still have it.
That sounds tragic.
It's very tragic.
It sounds tragic.
I've been there.
It was horrible. So,
I had a storage room full of records, and it was not air conditioned, and like you said, I just didn't touch that storage room for a minute, and then when I went back, it was a mess.
But mice were eating it and shit.
No, but a lot of my records were bent because of the heat. So I would put them on the platter, and they were like this. I was like,
yeah, that's why. But I do have so many records that I don't have in my computer. Like I have, because we would be nerds going to get bootlegs or different remixes, whether it's like the 88 remixes or this or that. Like I've got I got a great selection that I would be able to play that be out I don't even have in my laptop. I just got to make sure it's not like
nowadays we have
crunchy when I.
Nowadays we have 45 parties where everybody's
Yeah, that's the only one that's the next level of snobism of nerdism that I haven't got to the 45 level though. Like people coming with the boxes of 45. I'm not even gonna start now.
The little box, yeah, you're right. They're fully equipped. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's insane. Moving on. Question was, I had what do the younger audience misunderstand about the DJ culture? You think?
What I think is that most DJs are music. You get into becoming a DJ from being a music lover and a music collector, but it's really about being able to do everything, being a Swiss Army knife for music. You can't be just one genre, So it's like you gotta study music and you gotta be able to walk in at any party and do any genre. You know what I mean? Like that's something I know my generation of DJs pride themselves on. Is like, oh, you want house music tonight? Cool. You want reggae? Cool. You want Afrobeats? Cool. You want Latin? You want old school? You want new school? You want trap? Like, you want to study music. So a lot of the new DJs, they'll get their Spotify playlist and they'll sync it all up in their controller. But it's like, do you have a Stevie Wonder record in there, or do you have a, you know what I'm saying? Can I hear Biggie Small album cut, or can I hear a reggae record? Like, we need reggae for 30 minutes. What are you gonna do, 19-year-old? You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not shitting on the young kids because they weren't all grown up on it, but it's just like, if you're gonna be a DJ, like really just be just study music and love all the old stuff, and don't be, or else you're like a one-trick pony. You're not really, you know what I mean? So that's one thing, obviously, otherwise, I mean, I could always pull out the violin of the whole collecting what we all went through, but they don't care about hearing how we got our music.
You carried it 20 miles in the snow.
Yeah, exactly. They don't want to hear that. But that's really it. It's just it's just learning about music. That's it. Like being a teacher, being a student to music.
I have to chime in on that. I agree with that 1,000%. I just feel like the new generation of DJs, they just, oh man, I have a laptop and a controller, and now I'm a DJ, but they don't know the story of all these of the music. And like you say, you have, if you're gonna be a real, like a DJ, you need to digest on the culture. You have to digest on the history, and you got to know, when those, like as if you ask a DJ, like that Bone Thugs and Harmony, you know what year that record dropped? They'll be like, I don't think I was born.
So to that point, right? Mark X and Pooh, right?
Yes.
When I was in El Paso, they were teaching me how to mix, right? And they were like, you got to learn on vinyl. They were giving me all this, but we were on air one night during their night show, and the way they schooled me, because I was still a baby coming up, and I was like all into lyrics and lyricists, and that was my version of hip hop. And they were like, no, you need to go learn the history on this and this and that. And I knew the fundamentals of hip hop and all that stuff, but they schooled me on so much stuff that I did not know. I went home, did my homework. They were impressed because I came back with the whole history. I knew it off the top. They were asking me questions and I could answer them. And so I think having old heads or like big brothers in the space that like, you need to know, these are things you need to know. Here's some things that you're not aware of, and just shine a light on that, because I think if you know that, you get deeper into the music and you can feel the culture a little bit more.
No, absolutely.
That is true. That is true.
I do that. I do that with my teenage son. Like, we're in the car. It's like we're in school. You know what I mean? But then he's schooling me. We're going song for song. You know what I mean? I put an old Tribe Called Quest record on, or I put an old Marvin Gaye record on, but then he'll put me on yo, Dad, this kid is going viral. And he'll always be right about like the new kids. And I'm like, and it won't always be hip hop. Like my son actually likes all types of stuff. So he'll play some other stuff for me too. And he'll be right, and he'll be schooling me. But then I'm like, listen to this, and then he will go back. Like, I'll call him, like, yeah, listen to the Tribe album right now. I'm like, oh, fire, you doing your homework, or shit like that. So that's actually helpful to have a teenage kid.
That's true. It's always good, and you're right. I always have some young DJs who I speak to on a regular basis, phone calls, and like, yo, what's popping in the street on your end? Like, what are the new music that's breaking out of Dallas, or just in Texas in general? Because I know, like, whatever we play out here is completely different. Yeah, I mean, you've been here, you've done shows out here.
Where are you again? I'm sorry.
Dallas.
Dallas. Oh yeah, I was just in Dallas. Yeah.
By the way, he's Ghostface. I would say tour DJ.
Right now, man. Yeah, right now I'm on the tour with Ghost. He's
doing a lot of shows with him. But so, like I said, just back to like you were just saying with your son, like, you're putting him on some old stuff, and he's, like you said, he's on TikTok, he's on this and that, and he's like just sharing about what's coming, what's breaking, what's hot in on that platform at the moment.
Yeah. That generation, and it's like I still do parties for like 20-year-old. You know what I mean? I'm still doing the young parties. I'm not.
Yeah.
I haven't graduated from. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of heads that's tapped out of the new music. Of our hip hop generation of DJs that just do the old school parties and that. But I'm still doing the young parties, and I actually like the young music. Like, I get it lyrically wise. If we sit there and dissect it, it's a whole different genre. Like, they're not into lyrics, they're not into that. They're into flows and melodies. It doesn't matter what you say. But production wise, when you're in a club and you're hearing these big ass trap beats, it's like it's now fire. You know what I mean?
Right.
It do sound fire in the clubs. That's why it's so popular. So I'm not mad at that stuff. Like I like spinning turn up sets, as they say, that I'm not going to be scratching it up and all that. Hell no, I'm not doing shit. I'm on the microphone, playing, doing it that way because that's the style for that music. But then obviously, I get an old school jam or something, I'm nerding out going crazy, because.
Do you feel like your set is mostly mic work with the music? Because I know there's a lot of DJs who scratch it who are good on the mic. So they're like,
yeah, no, I mean, I'm forced to, be on the mic at a lot of the parties and of course the shows, like when I'm doing the tour DJ stuff and I do my sets before anyone hits the stage. It's me by myself, a few thousand people. I gotta amp them up for 20 minutes and I'm just strictly microphone, like trying to get them to sing along and shit, and then, in certain clubs, like there's constant bottles coming out and the manager keeps coming, yo, we need to shout at this person, shout at this. Anytime you see a sign, these spenders want to hear their name on the microphone. So you constantly, oh, happy birthday, this, oh, 1 bottle, 2 bottle, 3, oh, siren, like, it's like.
I hate bottles, bro.
Yeah, it's corny. It's like, you feel, but you get comfortable on the mic and then you start doing your sets a little different because you could actually have microphone sets where like you're introing a song with some type of engagement or some type of call and response. And it's fun. It kept me seasoned doing those type of parties. Obviously, like I said, it's a whole different style than scratching and acapellas. I mean, I still will do the stems. I will still do wordplay with trap records and stuff, but the microphone, you know what I mean, is kind of in those certain clubs they actually want it. They ask for it.
Yeah, no, I see a lot of DJs doing tone play at the clubs.
Some DJs OD, and some DJs OD silent. You feel like you're at a fire drill. It's just like, it's like all party long. There's a freaking siren going on. And,
some people complain about MCs, about DJs talking too much. Yo, let me hear the fucking song, man. I want to. So you got to be ready.
When you got somebody else MCing on your set. And you got those big parts where the crowd's about to say it, and they're like giving shout outs over that part. And you're like, bro, that's the part. You just messed up. What are you doing? A week ago, or they call her Stephanie, like it'll be the biggest part of the record. And they're like giving shout outs, and you're like, bro, get the
like, that is crazy. But it's true. We speak the truth, ladies and gentlemen. We speak the truth.
It really is an art form, being able to know when to speak and how to make it flow with the music, because I've been to some spots around here where it's just the records are they're just slamming records and then speaking on top of everything, and you're just like,
exactly. No, people need to know, like, you need to study that was one thing, when I was doing radio, you need to study the record, especially with back then the days where you have to know the ins and outs of that.
I'm so unfamiliar with all of this.
I mean, you're a comedian.
I'm unfamiliar. No. I'm unfamiliar with it because I'm from Miami, and DJs in Miami, all they do is talk all over the record.
I was about to say, because I've been in Miami all the time.
Like, so all the DJs do is
Miami. That's what it is. Records. Yeah.
Right? Like they talking right. What?
That's kind of like,
and that's the only reason.
Strip club DJ, because that's the strip club DJ style. You know what I'm saying? Constant side. We've got the Diamond's coming out. Yeah.
No, because it wasn't just strip club DJs, because a lot of DJs from Miami, they followed a script of a DJ Uncle Al from way back in the day, who he knew the song, so he was making his versions of the song as it was playing. So the song, the lyrics, you'll sing part of the lyrics and he'll cut in and say something off topic that's connected to the song on beat, and then let the song come back in. And that's what they do a lot out there in Miami.
But you said on beat.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yes. Shout outs to everybody tuning in from Miami, by the way.
But you do something as you talking, like, for me, I'm listening to a rare DJ. You know what I'm saying? In the sense that you're a bridge from what was from the past. You embrace that, but you're also embracing what's in the present and going into the future. You know what I'm saying? So because when I hear you say, I like the hip hop of today, I'm like, that's rare. You know what I'm saying? And you DJing for 20-year-old parties.
Right. Well, it's an experience here. I love music. You know what I'm saying? I always say, as much as people say you're a hip hop head, I'm actually a music head. You know what I mean? So it's like,
right.
You know, I've been pigeonholed, you know, with, I say pigeonholed, but I've been associated with the hip hop stuff, but I listen and like everything. And I actually embrace doing things out the box. When someone wants me to DJ something I usually don't DJ, I embrace it. They want house music all night. Like I'm up there pumping my fist and like, you know what I mean? Like blowing smoke on. Like I just did Japan and they want, you know, people thought I was going to Japan doing some true school scratching. I was doing top 40 EDM shit. And, you know, and having the smoke with you want. And like, you know, you pretend you're Tiesta. You're like counting it off like before the drop. Like 1, 2, 3. You know, having the jump. But it's like,
okay.
I said it in an interview, like, it's an energy exchange. Like I just love engaging with like people sharing music. You know what I mean? And it's like even with rap music, like I get it. If we dissect these lyrics, these kids are mumbling, they're not rhyming, whatever. They, you know, you see them on social media, they may be freaking out of their mind. But in that club and in that space, when you're playing those records, it actually like it sounds crazy. Some of these records, I mean, that's the, you know, I'm talking about, Prince. It's an experience. I maybe not listen to it in the car, but when I'm in the club, like, you know, if I'm playing a Future record and, you know, Future or Drake, like, it's a vibe. You know what I mean? I can't lie, it's a vibe.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like I'm sorry to cut you off.
My bad. Max B and French Montana dropped the record with the "Staying Alive" sample, right? Is it "Staying Alive"?
No.
It's not "Staying Alive" sample. It's
that's the way I like it.
That's the way I like it. Right.
I had the same exact beat I was shopping around. That's the side note is that I made that exact beat and people had it.
Oh wow!
Now exactly, the drums a little different, but I literally made the exact beat with the intro. But anyway,
right. The question is this: is sampling still storytelling, or has it become shortcut culture?
Absolutely. I mean, that's what we're. The thing is that it's combined generations. So now you got your mother or grandmother that knows that song from when they grew up or from weddings, and you know, it's like that's like a family like wedding. You know what I mean? You play that at weddings. So now you got your a 50-year-old that's like, oh, that's, you know, they could get down with it, but now the younger generation is hearing it in the club. So I always think like, and that's how I always have two mentalities as a producer. I have you got certain producers that want to find the most obscure samples and they'll go to Russia and Japan and go to some basement and look for the craziest vinyl, you know, but then as a DJ mentality, you want to play things that are familiar that people might have forgot about and maybe like nostalgic. Like, oh, you guys haven't heard this. This used to go crazy. Watch how I flip it on some 2026. You know what I mean? And now you're like, and then you get the old DJs, because honestly, these radio DJs are all 50 years old. To keep it real, like you know what I mean? So they're gonna be like, oh, you flipped that old 90s record we used to love, but now the young kids are rapping over it and they're learning about it. So I think it's educational too. It's not always great for the pockets, you know. I say that, like you may not get rich on it, but I'm not. I love sampling, you know.
I don't know.
New Wale album, Where to Start. He used the SWV sample, and that as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh, I mean, that made my day.
Yeah,
it made my day.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Are you calling? Who are you calling old? By the way, we're vintage, my G.
I always say, my favorite line is like age is energy. So I always say, like, I know old 30-year-olds and I know young 60-year-olds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I don't pay no attention to the number. Like you know,
pay close attention to what he's saying, y'all.
You go see somebody went to high school with, they may be like, they look like they threw in the towel. You know what I mean? Like they just done. Like they got their 9 to 5, they got their kids, they got their belly, they got their receding hairline, and they done. They tapped out. They cool with family vacations, and I'm not knocking a 9 to 5 because that's stability that we don't know about. Like
everybody's different. Everybody has.
But you know, I think music keeps you young. You know, to keep it real. Like I think music and just keeping that battery in your back.
Especially with you, like with your, you have a show on a weekly basis, and you just have to keep it fresh and interesting, and just like when you go into, I mean, I've been to your shows, I've been in the studio with you, and it's just like I say, it's a vibe. It's just an energy that you bring to the on air. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
What's wrong?
I like that they give they give me creative space. Like I could play old samples and shit. You know what I mean? And it's like you don't know who's listening. Then it'll be like someone from Minnesota or New Mexico. Like, yo, the way you put that Jay-Z sample, like, and you're sitting there by yourself, not realizing. Radio's weird because you don't know who's listening. It's a way after,
especially Sirius.
Exactly, because it's national. So it won't even be like New Yorkers. Like you after your set, you'll go on Instagram or you're going, and it'll be the most random. Oh, we're listening from Canada, and I'm like, damn, like But they like that nerd shit. They like to get schooled. They like to hear the samples and wordplay. If I do an hour of nothing but new music, and I'm all happy, like, oh, I got the newest shit. I don't get engagement because who kid just did 5 hours of new shit before me, and the guy before him did new shit, and it's like everyone's playing new stuff 24 hours. So it's like you gotta be different,
So now you know where they're breaking records at or new music at, fool.
For sure.
I think the kids also appreciate that nostalgia because, like, my kids will come to me after playing Fortnite. Like, that's how they learned who Eminem was. They came and they were like singing Slim Shady out of nowhere. And I'm like, what? How do you know that song? And it's from Fortnite. Or it's, they heard it on TikTok or saw a TikTok dance or something. And like, I think it's a cool way for them to revisit that.
Hell yeah. A lot of old songs got big on TikTok and on video games. Even like the Keisha Cole Love and all, like some of these R&B songs. Can We Talk, Tevin Campbell, like these kids all know it, but it was so old, but I believe that was from TikTok. Like they just like relearned it.
Yep.
That is true. Rebranded. People are excited to live. What's cool? Are you all right over there?
I don't know why this popped in my head, so I'm gonna ask it for the two
Lord.
DJs. When was the last time you played Cassidy featuring R. Kelly Room Keys?
I'm sorry for the randomness, bro.
The 1900s.
Yo.
Listen,
I'm going to a good topic in regards to not playing the Cassidy R. Kelly. Wasn't that Hotel? Oh, you said Room Keys. Is it a hotel?
Hotel, sorry, it's hotel.
I'm like,
Hotel, sorry.
Please, do this guy right here.
Yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky. These artists, like now you got Puffy, even Nicki Minaj looking crazy. Let's keep it real. It's like are we playing Nicki now? Are we playing Kanye? Are we playing Puffy? Are we playing R. Kelly? But then it's like, what about MJ? But then MJ's not a fact. It's like,
it's funny.
I guess the question should have been, how do you navigate a lot of our artists who are now in these controversies and they have memorable records?
Use an instrumental.
No, that is a good question because
it's tricky. It's tricky.
I don't know.
A lot of times, unfortunately, like I don't say I follow the masses because it's like it depends what type of rooms you're doing. You know what I mean? There'll be a room that could be a sensitive room that like I might not play a Kanye record in a certain room. You know what I'm saying? If you know what I mean. But then it's like.
But he apologized.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying. Yes, I play. That's the thing. I separated. There is some sense. There was sensitive moments, and then the sensitivity goes away. It's kind of like how time heals in a sense. Like there was a moment where like I'm on group chats and everybody like, yeah, play no Kanye's that, but then it's like fast forward 8 months later, la la la, wait till like everybody singing in the club again. It's just like as a DJ, it's tricky because like I said, they got smashes. R. Kelly is one that's been tricky. The trickiest because, and I know DJs that just don't care. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Big Ben.
I still can't listen to R. Kelly record without thinking about his audience or who he was thinking about when he wrote the song.
Say it again.
I said I still can't listen to an R. Kelly record without thinking about who he was
I
thinking
know,
of.
seems like you're ready. Like that's like
Yeah.
some paramount shit. Like
Yeah, exactly.
you're like age is nothing but a number. Like
Exactly.
I know, but like if I put on if a certain if it was 50-year-olds and I put on my mind's telling me no, the whole club everyone's gonna scream that shit.
Right.
We're calling the fire marshal.
Listen, it's crazy because a lot of people are saying, "Oh, you guys are not playing, you're boycotting or not playing any R. Kelly music. What are you doing about Diddy?" And it's like you said, it's a very tricky.
I mean, I'm not playing Diddy verses, but I'll play. A shout to the certain DJ that came out with the No Diddy pack. He came out with a phone that has all the big bad boy records, but he took
mine is Diddy
verses off and voice over all of them, so you can play.
What?
That's a real American hero right there.
Can you send me that file, bro? I need it.
Yeah, I'll send it to you, man. Oh man. Those records are smashes. You just don't need his verses, but you never really needed his verses. I mean, yes, we'll give him his props for being the man behind the curtain of making the record, but we rather
he was behind the curtain, all right.
Oh, shit.
He was behind the curtain.
I'm in front of the curtain. The curtain's open. But
you gave it to me. That was an alley-oop.
Yeah. That was good wordplay. But yeah, we just need Mason Biggie for those records. We don't need the Puppy verses. We can still play those records.
Legit.
That's true. Legit.
So what's a classic song that still shuts the party down whenever you play it?
Like an old school classic song?
Mm-hmm.
Shit, that's a good question. Well, I would say, how old school am I going? So like 90s or 2000s or is 2000s even old school? I guess it is, right?
It's old school.
Yeah, it's 20 years. Yeah, it's 26 years. Yeah.
I mean, if you play certain ones right, like you could play Rough Riders Anthem for young kids if you place it right, and they'll do the stop, drop, shut them down. You know what I mean? Like you could still get that off. Obviously, fast forward to the 2000s, I don't want to say classic because if I sound generic, if I say like Usher, or something, but that's not really like classic, but it's old, and you can still play that old freaking record, but that's obvious. But in the 90s, I mean, I always like there's certain parties that people want to hear, like in the beginning of the night, if you're playing those Mace records or you're playing the Jay-Z, I'm a hustler, baby, you know what I mean? Like, it still flies with the young. If I play Hey Ma, Cam and Jewels, Hey Ma, like, these kids love it. You know, you drink, you smoke, like, it's a party record, and, kids still love it.
I need you to play Acanelli, Put It in Your Mouth.
Yeah, baby.
They don't know about that one. But that's a good one.
They once you play it, they will know.
I always mix that with Explosive right there. In the crack of my
Explosive.
And you can eat me. That was my mix right there.
Yes.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yes, Explosive.
So we're gonna do this thing called the lightning round. Quick questions, basically vinyl or digital?
Right now, digital.
What is the most underrated hip hop city right now?
Hip hop what?
City.
Most underrated hip hop city right now?
Yeah.
That I like that has a strong hip hop following that I would be there for. You know who had the craziest one recently? Toronto. I DJ Toronto twice in the summer, and they know every freaking song. They're screaming top of their lungs. They know everything.
What's one producer every artist should study?
Quincy Jones.
He's amazing. Rest in peace. He was an amazing guy.
Yeah.
Finish the sentence. Hip hop lasts because.
Hip hop lasts because it's the best. Hip hop lasts because it's culture, not just music, and the culture it's embedded in the music, and it's embedded in our everydays, our clothes I'm wearing right now, the way we talk, the way we you know, communicate on top of the music. It's not going anywhere. It's the swag of the world. You know what I mean? Like, so.
That's true.
Yeah, and I grew up
That's a
in
good
Belgium,
answer.
and over there in Germany, Europe in general, like people loved it, and there were French hip hop artists, and like just it was just so to take something that started in New York and have it just resonate everywhere, and have people relate to the same kind of struggle. I think is just it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, no, it's a cult following. Just like a side note that made me think. Like last year, I was on tour with Ghost in Europe, and we were doing these Wu shows, and it'd be like teenagers. There'd be like parents bringing their kids, all dressed in Wu Tang, like front row, and we would give them an opportunity to jump on stage and rap "Protect Your Neck," and there would be teenagers coming on stage rapping every word to these Wu Tang records. And I was like, this is insane. Like that, you know, that obviously they got it from their parents, but like these rooms were filled with not old people. They were young people coming to see, you know, Wu-Tang, and they knew the words, and it's just like they almost love the culture even way more over there than us, to be honest, even though we created it. It's crazy.
I got a question. Have you played any NBA YoungBoy?
I played the one record. That one record, I forgot what it's called. The one record, the one that's out right now.
Did we just talk about that last week or the other day?
Yeah, because it pertains to hip hop lasts because right now, a lot of people are saying he is the one who is, because he is the future, somewhat carrying the mantle of hip hop right now. That's what a lot of people are saying. A lot of young people are saying it too.
My whole thing is, all right. Well, it's interesting you say him because I'm in also group chats with DJs, and I'm out and about, and for some reason he's out of this world with his cult following, but in the club his records really don't get that much spent like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but online, and these kids go crazy for him. But honestly, we don't burn that many of his records, and I'm talking nationally. I'm not saying as a New York DJ, he's got one that's floating around now that's big. But and on top of that though, and then it gets tricky when you say he's hip. How did you phrase it? You said he's carrying hip hop or something. How did you just phrase it?
Yeah, that's what it is. I mean, that's what they're saying.
Because it's like now, it's like hip hop. It's got subcultures and subgenres now. I should listen to more of his music before I make the statement and see like how his bars are and if he's like really embracing like hip hop as we know, because a lot of these like trap artists, I look at it like a subgenre that they definitely were birthed from hip hop. They come from the culture, but is this hip hop music or is this like a mutation of it? You know what I'm saying? That should
Did you say mutation?
That's a good word.
You said mutation.
Yeah. That actually was right on the one though.
Sounds.
Come on, fool, let's go.
Is that not good?
I'm just.
I kind of freaked that. That was actually right.
Yeah.
I like that.
Because it's like
I like that.
And I like
a mutation of hip hop.
I'm not trying to sound like like I say, I like the young shit. It's so polar opposite to boom bap with. Like we grew up where it was all about skills. It wasn't about the club. It wasn't about money. It was about who got the most skills.
Right.
And year 2000, we hit the mountain. Year 2000, we went through the Renaissance. We were spoiled. After that, it turned into money, turned into club, and everybody dumbed it down to make it more sing along. Right. And the tempos went lower with the South, and that was it. You know what I'm saying? But now it's like, I don't know. When you say he's carrying hip hop, it's like, but does he even know? Like, I would love to hear, like, does he, you know what I'm saying? Does he listen to Biggie and Pac? Does he know about old school stuff? Does he have a change of production in it? Does he have bars that he got online? Or is he doing the melodic turn up shit for the young boys? And I don't know. Like, you tell me. What do you think?
Right. Because, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, I think we need to have part 2 for that. We need to go into the studio.
Yeah, for sure.
And elaborate about it.
Because I think, just to close with the question is like, there's a bridge. Like when you mention a Biggie, right? That bridge is, okay, Biggie, Jay, And then for a lot of young people, Wayne.
Definitely.
They skip the Nas's, they skip all these other people just to get to Wayne, and then that generation sees
Wayne, Drake,
Wayne. Yeah. Exactly. So they may not, that mountain may be too high for them to see.
Right.
So they feed off of that mountain of Wayne and those people. And if it's downhill from there and there's just only a couple of people that they see that are top tier, then this is what you get.
Right.
I've always looked at it in terms of like rappers versus MCs, because I think a lot of people can be a rapper but not necessarily an MC. I think to be an MC you have to write your own lyrics for starters, and you and I have had this debate full. But I think you got to write your own lyrics and you got to be nice with it.
Hey, listen. With that said, there's a lot of MCs or just people who are good at freestyling, but they're just not good at making records.
It's funny.
Yeah, we're gonna need a part 2.
We were just watching. I was just on the road with these guys, and we was in the Sprinter for hours. So they were just putting mad battles on the video. You know, we were watching like, and I'm sitting and we had the same discussion. I'm like, yo, these dudes are so nasty, but like they in the studio, like we're in the records. Like I've never heard any of these dudes over beats, but a cappella on stage, their wordplay is so clever and ridiculous. But then it's like, why have I never heard none of these dudes in the booth? I don't have no records by any of these guys. So it's like you say, it's 2 different talents, you know.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, man. Skill sets.
And freestyling is another thing. It's
Right.
crazy. It's just, you know, like some guys are killing it, but they just don't know how to put it together. Go ahead, fool.
Yeah.
No, I listen. We had an hour and 31 minutes, and we could go for another hour and 31 minutes just based on what we're talking about.
Yeah, I wanted to. We do this segment called Original Audio Scram, where we play a new song, and we take the sample that they used. So I wanted to include you in that segment today. So I'm gonna play this new. Have you heard the new ASAP Rocky album?
I haven't dived into it yet. No.
Yeah. So there's a song called Robbery that I'm gonna play, and then I'm gonna take you back with the samples. So here it is, right here, guys.
Superstar, jazz man, no guitar, rock star, in charge, in general, my girl is pop ball, popcorn, y'all coons, all y'all do is log on, New York, eat it glizzy, now these niggas hot dog, AK in the seats, always been a hot ball, Dolce on the briefs, always been a top dog, Flacco season sauce on, some think I robbed on, why, last 7 years, only dropped like 5 songs, peace, love, by God, big bodyguard, strong on bygones, bygones be bygones, can't do a fit check, you get the price wrong, snake printed leather, but you picked the python.
All right, and this is the sample. So, Robbery by ASAP Rocky, and this is Caravan.
That's Caravan?
That's Caravan by Thelonious Monk.
That's the out the box for him.
You know what I'm saying?
After Rocky's mom named him after Rakim. That's pretty dope. That's pretty hip hop.
Yeah. So, you know, it's interesting. It just very interesting vibe.
Yeah, now it's dope that you got creative.
But this is, you know, part of the show. This is what we do. You know what I'm saying? We put the new kids into like, you know, new music, and that's exactly what we did with Fresh Montana, you know, and the KC and the Sunshine record. You know, we like to keep it interesting, and we like to keep it fresh, my brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that's fine. Shout out to Rocky for jumping out the box, because you know, hopefully he inspires other young artists to try, you know, not just stay in a certain sonic box. You know what I mean? Like, you know, get crazy with your paintbrush, man.
Dig into them crates.
Yeah, dig into the crates. You know.
1,000%. We appreciate you, brother.
Avant-garde rap.
I appreciate the time. You know, I'm gonna let you go outside and clean the ice out of the yard.
Oh man! Yeah,
Thank you for the word of the day, mutation rap.
Yes, sir. We're gonna take that.
Yeah, as I said it, I realized I think I just summed it up right there.
You need to make T-shirts now.
Yeah. The mutation.
Yeah, make me a hat. Mutation Rap.
Mutation Rap.
Well, hey, let them know where they can find you, Scram. Socials, your times on Sirius, the days that you're on. Let people know what's going on, buddy.
So every Saturday, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on Shade 45. And then follow me at Scram Jones on Instagram, and you know, I post what I'm doing, so you know, see what's great.
And if they want to book you, where they can hit up?
Book Scram Jones at Gmail. Simple as that. I'll send it. Let me send a DM.
Yes,
I appreciate it, my brother. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate the time and the knowledge in schooling us. You know what I'm saying? And schooling everybody, letting the kids know, and everybody who watches our show, give them a little bit of what life is in your world, my brother. Appreciate you.
I appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me.
Peace out, brother. Take
care.
All right, y'all. Peace. Thank you. All right.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's Mr. Scram Jones in the building. That was amazing, right?
Yeah.
I hope he plays Acanelli. I hope he plays Hotel.
Put it in your mouth.
You're gonna be watching his IG to see if he posts it.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to see it. Because them things popped in my head. Ooh, it's rapid fire too.
It's crazy.
No, you got skills.
No, and this is one of the things that I've been speaking about, just getting dope DJs on, on the podcast, artists, producers, people who are going to share knowledge. I'm going to have somebody who's going to, how we were just talking about music placement. I'm working with somebody who is very, like on the note when it comes to that kind of stuff, like in regards to, just that part of, where you separate, your points on a record and all that stuff, as far as like, royalties and stuff like that. So I'm going to have somebody also like who can help possibly, get health insurance as well. So a lot of DJs don't have health insurance, just
that's
for
important.
So it's important. That's one thing that we lack in the DJ community. It's like, we're so worried about making money and gigs and stuff like that we don't take care of each other. A lot of people are dying because they're just not taking care, and they don't have the means to go see a doctor because they're not covered. And you already know, health insurance is another topic where it's just expensive. Every time I go to the doctor and I pay cash, it's $100.
Right.
So
I think we should also get someone on here like for financial literacy,
of course,
investing and taxes and stuff like that. Because when I was in radio, I didn't know until I ran into this. I don't know what he did in the industry, honestly, but he was up there doing something, and he was like, "Y'all don't write off your clothes and your meals." And like, I'm writing this whole thing off right now because he took everybody to Ruth's Chris and he paid for everything. He's like, "I'm writing off this dinner," and I was like, "What?" I could write off my clothes. I could write off, all of these. He's like, "Yeah, you got to have your appearance right for, So it's things we don't think about and we're never taught coming up how to handle that.
When I do my taxes, not like first and foremost, I highly recommend for people to get their LLC. You
Absolutely.
need to have your LLC all put together. And back to what you were talking about with this guy, you could write off your phone bill, your internet. You have all your entertainment, Netflix, and all that. Of course, like you said, gear, all that stuff. Like there's a lot of stuff. Even miles on your car when you drive into your gigs, all that stuff. There's so many. You can write off a lot of different things, and people just don't know.
Right.
We're definitely going to get somebody
right off this haircut.
Facts. That $300 haircut. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And also, let's include your therapist bill too.
Right.
Because you had to go to therapy after that cut. Sitting on the chair.
Right, that off.
He went inside, he laid on that couch, he said, "Listen, my soul hurts. I paid $80 for a haircut."
Therapist said, first thing the therapist said, "The Curvins, you look good today." Let me tell you about that.
Let me tell you about this looking good situation. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, guys, once again, thank you very much for spending our afternoon with us. And we'll see you guys next Sunday with a special guest, Justin Prager, who used to work for MTV and a bunch of other beautiful places. So we'll see you guys next week. Stay tuned. We out.
Yeah.
Peace. Peace, peace, peace.